Hi, hello everyone. Welcome back to my channel Words and Beyond. I'm Hansika Wijesooriya, qualified speech and language therapist. So, is your child having speech and language delay? Or is he just a late talker? Stay tuned to find out. While you're waiting, subscribe to my channel for new updates and also please share so that other people can find the help too. Okay, so let's begin. The first one, if your child is not speaking enough as other children of his age, it's a red flag. It's kind of obvious, but it is. So if the child is not speaking enough when you go into a gathering or when you go into his nursery, if he's not speaking enough as much as their peers, or if he's speaking less words, so it's a sign that he is having a delay. So you must be not aware of the number of words they should be saying for each age. So the list will be appearing on the screen so that you can have a look. If the child is deviating far from this number, then you should consider him having a speech and language evaluation. So the next is not understanding language. So understanding language is different. It's crucial for speaking language. It's different from speaking language. So it's two different things. So it's kind of highly overlooked, and often parents don't understand whether their child is actually understanding words or not. So sometimes mothers come to me and say that my child understands everything, but the only problem is having that he is not speaking. So this can be true, but majority of the time, around 90% of the time, this is not the case. So, okay, let me give you something. So if your child is understanding a word, like if you say to him like, bring it to me, bring that, and give it to me. So you're using hand gestures and you're looking at it. So the child is detecting that rather than the word. So he understands the gestures and not the word. So there's a simple way to detect this. So give them a command without using your hands or looking at it. So try this and see, will your child understand it? Probably not. So if your child did not understand this, it's highly likely that he's having a delay. So it's better to see, especially because speech and language therapists know way beyond to evaluate their understanding level. The next one is if your child is not giving out enough speech sounds. So if your child is vocalizing but not, they don't produce any speech sounds, or only giving ah or grunting to ask for something as their means of communication. Like for examples, if they're saying ah, 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 or like for grunting, they would ask or else if they're having their own language, they would give you a full story on their own language that you wouldn't understand any of it, like blah 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 blah. They would go on like this. This is a warning sign. So this is normal up to a certain age, but after 12 months of age, they should be able to connect consonants and vowels and make words. Simple ones at first, like mama, dada, and then go into complex ones. The next one is if your child is not using gestures. So if you're saying hi or bye, if they're not copying it, or when you say, when you're going for a high five, if they're not responding to it, and also if they're not pointing and even they're not looking at where you're pointing, or they're not following where you're looking, like following your gaze, this is something that you might want to take a deeper look at. And now this brings us to the final point, frustration. The child will be extremely frustrated by not being able to tell us what he wants, and he will be frustrated by not being able to understand what we want from them, and basically difficulty in effectively communicating with others. So because of this, they might act out in frustration. That's when the hitting, crying, and kicking starts to come up, extreme tantrums. Even I've been bitten and hit by toddlers while during therapy. I can only imagine what it is for the parents at home. So if you see these signs in your child, don't worry, get them to a speech and language therapist and get them evaluated, and go with your gut. As mothers, you know your child the best. So if they're deviating from these milestones, go get them checked. So thank you for joining with me today. I hope this was helpful to you. See you soon.